"I'm done," whispered singer-songwriter Maya Rodriguez as she stared at the rejection letter from her 10th record label this month. At 26 years old, her music career was over before it had truly begun, and she felt like giving up on her dreams entirely. But as she sat in her cramped Oklahoma City apartment, watching Shai Gilgeous-Alexander lead the Thunder's incredible comeback from a 25-point deficit on her old TV, something sparked inside her. What Maya didn't know was that Shai's resilience was about to inspire the song that would change both of their lives forever. The date was February 8, 2024. Maya Rodriguez sat cross-legged on the worn carpet of her studio apartment in Oklahoma City's Bricktown district, surrounded by crumpled rejection letters and empty coffee cups that told the story of her failing music career. At 26, Maya had been chasing her dream of becoming a professional singer-songwriter for 8 years, ever since graduating from the University of Oklahoma with a degree in music composition that her parents had warned her was impractical. She'd written over 200 songs, performed at countless open mic nights, and sent demos to every record label, talent agency, and music producer she could find. The results had been consistently devastating. Form rejection letters, ignored emails, and the occasional brutal feedback that suggested she should consider a more realistic career path. Maya's latest rejection had come that morning from Meridian Records, a mid-tier label that had initially shown interest in her folk rock style. After 3 months of back-and-forth correspondence and 2 showcase performances, they had ultimately decided her music lacked the commercial appeal necessary for today's market. "Maya, your songwriting is technically proficient," the AR representative had written, "but your songs don't tell stories that connect emotionally with listeners. Consider developing more universal themes that resonate with broader audiences." That criticism stung more than the outright rejections because Maya knew there was truth in it. Her songs were introspective and personal, but they hadn't achieved the kind of emotional impact that transforms listeners and creates lasting connections. As Maya sat among the wreckage of her musical ambitions, she turned on her small television for background noise, hoping to distract herself from the growing realization that she might need to abandon her dreams and find conventional employment. What she found instead was a Thunder game that would provide her with the inspiration she had been searching for without knowing it. The Thunder were playing the Phoenix Suns in what had been expected to be a routine regular season game. But Maya tuned in just as Oklahoma City was completing one of the most remarkable comebacks in recent NBA history. Down by 25 points with 8 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, the Thunder had seemed defeated. The arena crowd was subdued, and even the announcers were discussing how the team might use this loss as a learning experience for future games. But Maya watched in fascination as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander single-handedly transformed the entire atmosphere of the game. It wasn't just his scoring, though he scored 18 points in those final 8 minutes, it was his composure, his leadership, and his unwavering belief that the game was still winnable even when everyone else had given up. Maya found herself transfixed by Shai's demeanor during timeouts. While his teammates showed frustration and exhaustion, Shai remained calm and focused, encouraging his team and making strategic adjustments that gradually turned the tide. "He's not playing like someone who's losing," Maya thought to herself. "He's playing like someone who knows exactly how this story ends." With 2 minutes remaining, the Thunder had cut the deficit to 7 points. With 1 minute left, they trailed by 3. And with 12.8 seconds on the clock, Shai hit a contested three-pointer that tied the game and sent the arena into absolute pandemonium. But what happened in overtime would provide Maya with the creative breakthrough she had been seeking for years. The Suns scored first in overtime, taking a 3-point lead that seemed to deflate the Thunder's momentum. Maya watched as several Oklahoma City players showed visible frustration after missing shots and committing turnovers. That's when Shai did something that Maya would later describe as the most inspiring leadership moment I've ever witnessed in any context. During a timeout with 3 minutes left in overtime, cameras caught Shai gathering his teammates in the huddle. Maya couldn't hear what he was saying, but she could see the transformation in his teammates' body language as he spoke. Their shoulders straightened. Their eye contact improved. Their energy shifted from desperation to determination. Whatever Shai had said worked. The Thunder outscored Phoenix 12-4 over the final 3 minutes of overtime, winning 118-113 in what would later be remembered as one of the season's most impressive comeback victories. But Maya wasn't thinking about basketball statistics. She was thinking about something much more profound that she had observed in Shai's approach to seemingly impossible challenges. As the final buzzer sounded and Shai was interviewed on the court, Maya listened carefully to his explanation of the comeback. "I never stopped believing we could win," Shai said simply. Sometimes you have to trust the process even when the outcome looks impossible. Every possession is a new opportunity to change the story. Those words hit Maya like lightning. Every possession is a new opportunity to change the story. Maya realized that she had been approaching her music career like someone who was losing by 25 points, defeated, desperate, and focused on all the reasons why success seemed impossible. But what if she approached her next song like Shai had approached that fourth quarter, with unshakable belief that the story wasn't over yet? However, what happened during the next 3 days would prove that inspiration without action is worthless. Maya spent the entire night after the Thunder game writing lyrics inspired by what she had witnessed. But instead of writing about her own struggles and disappointments, she wrote about the universal human experience of facing seemingly insurmountable challenges and finding the strength to continue fighting. The song was called Fourth Quarter Heart, and it used basketball metaphors to explore themes of resilience, comeback, and the power of refusing to give up when everyone expects you to fail. The chorus that Maya wrote captured everything she had learned from watching Shai's performance. When you're down by 25 and the clock is running out. When everyone around you fills their head with doubt. That's when champions are made in the space between. The moment that you fall and the moment that you dream. With a fourth quarter heart, with a fourth quarter heart. But Maya knew that writing a great song was only the first step. She needed to record it professionally and find a way to get it heard by people who could appreciate its message. Using her savings from waitressing at a local restaurant, Maya booked time at a small recording studio and produced a demo that captured both the energy of Shai's comeback and the emotional depth of her songwriting. However, what happened when Maya tried to share her song would test everything she had learned about persistence and belief in long-term processes. Maya's first instinct was to send Fourth Quarter Heart to the same record labels that had rejected her previous work. But she realized that approach was like trying to win a basketball game by using the same strategy that had caused you to fall behind by 25 points. Instead, Maya decided to take inspiration from Shai's systematic approach to improvement and create a completely new strategy for building her music career. She researched which radio stations played independent artists, which music blogs covered emerging talent, and which venues hosted showcases for unsigned musicians. Instead of relying on traditional gatekeepers, Maya decided to build her audience directly through performance and social media. Maya's first breakthrough came when she performed Fourth Quarter Heart at an open mic night at the Blue Note, a small venue in Oklahoma City's Arts District. The song's combination of sports metaphors and universal themes about overcoming adversity resonated immediately with the audience. But the real validation came when someone in the audience filmed her performance and posted it on social media with the caption, "This local artist just wrote the most inspiring song I've ever heard about never giving up." The video went viral locally within 48 hours, accumulating thousands of views and hundreds of comments from people sharing their own stories about overcoming challenges and refusing to quit. But what happened next would demonstrate that authentic inspiration creates unexpected connections. Among the people who saw Maya's performance video was Dr. Lisa Chin, a sports psychologist who worked with professional athletes on mental performance and resilience training. Dr. Chin was so moved by Fourth Quarter Heart that she contacted Maya through social media and asked if she could use the song in her work with clients who were struggling with comeback situations. "Maya, your song captures something about resilience and mental toughness that I've been trying to teach athletes for years," Dr. Chin explained during their phone conversation. The basketball metaphors make complex psychological concepts accessible and inspiring. This unexpected connection led to Maya performing Fourth Quarter Heart at sports psychology conferences, team building events, and motivational seminars throughout the region. But the most meaningful opportunity came when Dr. Chin asked Maya if she would be interested in performing the song for the Oklahoma City Thunder players and coaching staff during a team meeting focused on mental preparation for the playoffs. Maya could hardly believe that the song inspired by watching Shai play would now be performed for Shai himself. However, what happened during that Thunder team meeting would exceed Maya's wildest expectations about the power of authentic artistic expression. Maya was nervous as she set up her acoustic guitar in the Thunder's team meeting room, surrounded by professional athletes whose physical presence was intimidating even in casual clothes. But as she began singing Fourth Quarter Heart, Maya noticed something remarkable happening. The players weren't just listening politely, they were connecting emotionally with the lyrics in ways that surprised even Dr. Chin. When Maya reached the chorus about champions being made in the space between the moment that you fall and the moment that you dream, she noticed several players nodding and exchanging meaningful glances. After she finished the song, the room was silent for several seconds before the entire team erupted in applause. But it was Shai's response that would change everything for Maya's career. "Maya, that song captures something I've never heard anyone put into words before," Shai said as the applause died down. "The idea that setbacks are just setups for comebacks, that's exactly how I try to approach basketball and life." Shai paused, looking thoughtful. "Would you be interested in writing the official song for our playoff run? Something that captures the spirit of what we're trying to accomplish as a team." Maya felt like she was living in a dream. The song that had been inspired by watching Shai play was now being commissioned by Shai himself. But what happened during the creation of that playoff anthem would prove that collaboration between artists and athletes can produce something more powerful than either could create alone. Maya spent the next 2 weeks working closely with Shai and several other Thunder players to understand their goals, values, and aspirations for the playoff run. She learned about their journey from rebuilding team to championship contender, their commitment to proving doubters wrong, and their belief that success comes from collective effort rather than individual achievement. The resulting song, "Thunder Rising," became the unofficial anthem of Oklahoma City's championship run. Maya performed it before every home playoff game, and the crowd sang along with increasing enthusiasm as the team advanced through each round. But the most powerful moment came before Game 7 of the NBA Finals, when Maya performed "Thunder Rising" for a national television audience of 30 million viewers. As she sang the lyrics that had grown from watching Shai's comeback against Phoenix months earlier, Maya realized that her own career comeback was unfolding in real time. Record labels that had previously ignored her were now calling with contract offers. Music supervisors wanted to license her songs for television and film. Concert promoters were booking her for venues she had only dreamed of playing. But perhaps the most meaningful recognition came from an unexpected source. After the Thunder won the championship, Shai approached Maya during the victory celebration and handed her a signed basketball with a message that brought tears to her eyes. "Maya, thank you for showing me that inspiration works both ways. Your song about comebacks inspired our comeback. Sometimes the best teammates are the ones who help you see your own story more clearly." However, the most important lesson Maya learned from her experience wasn't about music industry success. It was about the power of authentic storytelling and persistence in the face of rejection. During her first major label recording session 6 months later, Maya reflected on the journey that had brought her from rejected songwriter to recording artist with a hit song on the charts. Fourth Quarter Heart had reached number 3 on the country music charts and number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100. But more importantly, it had connected with listeners who were facing their own comeback situations in business, relationships, health, and personal growth. Maya received hundreds of emails from people sharing how her song had helped them persevere through difficult circumstances. Cancer patients, struggling students, entrepreneurs facing bankruptcy, and athletes recovering from injuries all found inspiration in lyrics that had originated from watching Shai refuse to give up during a basketball game. But the validation that meant the most to Maya came during a conversation with her parents, who had initially discouraged her music career as impractical. "Maya, we owe you an apology," her father said during a family dinner after her song reached the top 10. "We were wrong to discourage your dreams. Watching you succeed by staying true to your artistic vision taught us something important about believing in long-term goals even when immediate results aren't visible." Maya smiled, thinking about how many times she had wanted to quit before watching Shai's comeback had reminded her that the best stories often begin when everything seems lost. A year later, Maya was nominated for a Grammy Award in the Best Country Song category for Fourth Quarter Heart. During her acceptance speech, she made sure to acknowledge the inspiration that had started everything. This song began with watching a basketball player refuse to give up when his team was losing by 25 points, Maya told the audience of music industry professionals. "Shai Gilgeous-Alexander taught me that comebacks don't happen because of talent alone, they happen because of belief, persistence, and the willingness to keep fighting when everyone expects you to quit." As Maya held her Grammy Award, she thought about the rejection letters that had once made her feel like giving up and how different her life had become because she had learned to approach setbacks like Shai approached fourth quarters, as opportunities to change the story. The musician who had written a song about Shai's comeback had created her own comeback story, proving that inspiration can flow in both directions and that sometimes the most powerful collaborations happen between people who never meet but whose dedication to excellence speaks the same language. And in Oklahoma City, where championship banners hung from the arena rafters and Maya's songs played on the radio, they understood that greatness can inspire greatness across any field, and that the best stories are the ones where everyone wins because someone refused to give up when winning seemed impossible.